Good afternoon, people of the world. Today is the first message on love for enemies. Back in 2021 and 2022, I studied the book of Luke and I meditated on the book of Luke and I prayed through the book of Luke, and it changed my life. And it was definitely a true beginning of a wonderful work that the Lord has worked in my life, and I'm excited to share with you over the next probably 2 months about how wonderful Jesus is and how wonderful it is to live for Him. The most important passage in the book of Luke comes from Luke chapter 6. Luke chapter 6, verse 27 through to the end of the chapter. So, Luke chapter 6, verse 27 to the end of the chapter is what I'm going to read because it is the first passage in the book of Luke that changed my life and made life just become so wonderful since 2021. Verse 27, but I tell you, you who hear me, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to him the other also. If someone takes your cloak, do not stop him from taking your tunic. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. He also said this parable: Can a blind man lead a blind man? Will they not both fall into a pit? A student is not above his teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like his teacher. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, Brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when you yourself fail to see the plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People do not pick figs from thorn bushes, or grapes from briars. The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For out of the overflow of his heart his mouth speaks. Why do you call me, Lord, Lord, and not do what I say? I will show you what he is like who comes to me and hears my words and puts them into practice. He is like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on rock. When the flood came, the torrent struck that house, but could not shake it, because it was well built. But the one who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a man who builds a house on the ground without a foundation. The moment the torrent struck that house, it collapsed, and its destruction was complete. This is God's word for us. Let us give thanks to God. For the next 2 weeks, I will talk about love for enemies because Jesus repeated that uh, in this passage. Love your enemies and do good to them who hurt you. This is a challenge to me, and I know it's a challenge for you as well. But Jesus gave a great promise to us if we do that. It's like we're on a firm foundation and we're bearing good fruit if we love our enemies. Thank you for listening for today to this wonderful passage and these gracious words. I hope that they have penetrated your heart like they have mine, like they have today, and all the way back to 2021. Thank you for listening.